my fears, soak the towel in my tears. So ahead of my time, what comes next are all my oldest ideas. I'm wiser than my chin check y'all in y'all beard. I'm willing to fall to my peers, all of my peers for all of my years. Out in the field, take a look at my shoes. Never had a thought that it might lose. Considering the cost, how to give them my dues. Never got a talk to it like you. I've been feeling like a king for months. We eat all the rich cuisine for lunch. All these wishing he was done. Oh, you tried it, that's a piece of gum. Now, look at me, I'm the captain now. I'm recruiting this year. I be praying for y'all while I'm praying for y'all. Like a line abusing this deer. I hate a dude with no plans. Now I don't usually get near. Oh, my ex and her man. Cause I'm the mutant in here. We look good, just show us with the camera. Years ago, I had to up my standards. Make your missus Alabama. Turn it to my only private. Swear like she don't got the answers. Who's the boss? I feel like Tony Danza. Walk up in there like I got the swag. What kind of swagger? I'm the blackest panther. Wakanda. Y'all are wasting our time. I spend it, but I ain't wasting a dime. Might do some favors, but I ain't breaking my spine. Your girl has been calling for days. I get in all different ways. That New Orleans parades. Yeah, we like, none of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Y'all all with it and y'all talk a lot, but y'all ain't got the heart to do the mission. I'm hard-headed like the juggernaut, but there ain't nothing I can do to listen. I'm authentic and I walk around like I just ate, but let you do the dishes. I'm Clark Kent, but mix the Autobots and mix with everything that you've been missing. Please get back and don't get that involved. Freaking sick, I need a padded walls. I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs. Homie with me if you're asking for it. There ain't much that he be asking for. He just wanna have a paddock on with a watch face with little dragon balls. Look, you don't need me either. All I need is this. No coca ice, and I get oh so polite.
Guys, we all watched the film from yesterday, and I hope everyone knows it wasn't good enough. Today's practice...
Set! 319! 319! Hot! Set! Blue landing! Set! 319! 319! Here we go now! 319! Hot! Now let's go! Green 39! Green! Here we go now! Blue landing! Now let's go! Hurry up, here we go! Green 39! Green 39! Set! Green 39! Set! Blue landing! Now let's go. Blue line. Hurry up, here we go. Green line. Here we go now. Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Here we go now. Green. All right, here we go. Green. Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Hey, man, that was great. I mean, you had a great day today. The game is really...
I put some ice on my wrist, it was walls. Still ain't got time with you.
When you're 30,000 feet up, what you think of? Oh, I hated knowing that my thoughts would turn to dream, cause I never knew I'd get my chance to link up. Oh, I tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. But your favorite
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA. And Heinz Field. Straight ahead, we pull the curtain on the postseason with an AFC wildcard matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he spots Henderson open left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Illegal touching, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. On second down, Ryan. Austin Safarian-Jenkins has it. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
Hey, let's go.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's Ryan to throw. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Right, didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now it's Ryan, and that is incomplete here.
What's the old adage? Be quick. But don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he's got a Anunwa. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Quincy Anunwa, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Dancing to his left. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and that'll be 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Here's Jackson. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Now Jackson on second down. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
On third down, Jackson. And he finds Kenneth Dixon. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards that time and a Pittsburgh first. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find openings.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. Chewing up big yardage, another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. A dump off for Dixon. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And when you have a guy in the backfield who can catch the football, you don't just use him strictly for checkdowns or dump-offs. You make him part of the primary passing attack, because what you're trying to do is get him into open field and then let him make people miss and advance the football.
And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Julio Jones. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. That's why you got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So the Broncos coming out now. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. On second down, Freeman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The veteran Jimmy Smith there on the coverage.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And the third down pass falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
20.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. To throw again is Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10. Ryan will throw again. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down. On first down, Ryan. And complete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Austin Safarian Jenkins, 36 yards. And the Broncos are in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Here's Oliver. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to wind up and air it out. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Buster Screen. Dancing away at the 30. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we're at halftime of this AF. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Jackson now on 2nd and 10. Forced out to his left. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. And the Steelers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now it's Jackson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside, not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. Wide open receiver, complete. Now the ball comes loose. It's picked up by the Broncos, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ryan. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to...
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. Cooper was the target there.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game, and so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And that's going to be incomplete.
If If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just dropped to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. On second down, here's Jackson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those type
blitz coming, and down he goes. Shane Ray coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up. And he's going to go down again. Kyler Fackrell in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week on our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to. And if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Back now in Pittsburgh, it's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. They go play action here on first down. Got an open man. It's a noon one. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things.
And all the way home for a Bronco score. Devontae Freeman, 34 yards. And the Broncos capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now Jackson on first down. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not. It got his man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That goes for a gain of 31. Well, it's one thing to complete that pass on a nice sunny 70-degree day, but in these elements, that's a tough thing to do.
It is, and let's just put the whole thing together, not just throwing the ball. Trying to protect the quarterback now when you got the pass rushers coming at you. Maybe things are a little slippery on the field. The guys trying to cover downfield, wanting to make sure they keep their footing as the guys make their cuts. Looking back and locating the ball, you name it, it's difficult all the way around. But the guy throwing it, he may have the toughest task.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. Throwing again. Steps away to his left. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for the Steelers. And even 40 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. Flushed out right. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. On second down, Jackson being chased out left. And coughed it up. And this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or 2 there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Now Jackson on second down. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And the Broncos are going to get the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And they will take a knee here. So here we go, Charles, third down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
They go down to a knee, and that will do it. They are moving on here in the playoffs. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. One last shot for Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And losing in this wild card round, you know, they've got something to build on, though, for next year. But I don't know if they want to hear that right now.
Maybe not at the moment. But once they get away from it a little bit and they get into their off-season program, and they'll start to talk about that. And I like how you framed it. Building blocks, you know, building this program up. And what my favorite coaches always talks about, brick by brick. You build